This is the Transformers G1, well, reissue, Walmart exclusive, Autobot Scientist Perceptor, done in the cartoon accurate deco. Looks very, very promising. Let's get this guy out of packaging. And here is the G1 Perceptor out of the box in his cartoon movie accurate colors. And he looks great. He's much hefty and solid than I thought he would be. I never had, like I said in the beginning, I never had a Perceptor figure. I always wanted one when I was a kid. And I mean, this one is, it takes me back. I mean, I had a friend who had this, and it was really a working microscope. I mean, he would bring it to science class. And anyway, it's a great looking G1 figure. Everything's the same as the old G1, obviously, except for the colors. And this figure no longer has any chrome parts. In the original, these knobs right here were done in chrome. The tip of the scope was also done in chrome, and the chest piece was done in chrome. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 16.5 centimeters tall, or about 6.5 inches tall. And for comparisons, here he is with the reissued cartoon movie accurate G1 Hot Rod, as well as the Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Perceptor. And I can't believe how the colors match on these guys. I mean, albeit these colors are a little bit darker than his, but both are very cartoon accurate. And yeah, I'm just so happy to have a Generations Perceptor side by side with a G1 Perceptor. Now, he does come with his blaster rifle, which is quite different from what we have with Studio Series. I think this is a more cartoon accurate, and obviously this one was his G1 toy accurate blaster. It also comes with a rocket firing blaster, and comes with 3 missiles. Sadly, this one has been decommissioned by Hasbro. It no longer has the spring gimmick, so it's not spring loaded. It'll just drop and fall, which was a shame. But because back in the 80s, you know, they weren't as concerned as, you know, with safety and all that regulation and all that. There was some regulation on safety issues, but it wasn't as strict as nowadays when you have lawsuits. If, you know, a kid just pokes out an eye because of a launching missile. So, okay, not too bad, nothing to worry about. And like I said, it's still a great looking figure despite the missing spring-loaded action and the chrome bits. These pieces were, I think, decked out in chrome back in the 80s. If you have the reissue, the Toys R Us exclusive reissue, it'll still have the chrome. As far as articulation goes, this figure actually has a lot of articulation. The shoulders are on ratcheting joints. Elbows are on hinges. You would think that they would ratchet because of the gear-like texture of the elbows, but they don't. It doesn't have any waist or torso articulation. The legs can actually do the splits, mainly because of transformation. Can't go forward and backward, though. It has a thigh swivel and a knee swivel, the knee hinge swivel. So he's got some knees that allow a bend about 90 degrees, a swivel here and a swivel here, some toe articulation. So for a G1 figure, he actually has a lot of articulation, because most G1 figures back in the day were just bricks. You couldn't really move them except for the arms, or I should say elbows. But this one has a lot of articulation. There's a lot of playability with this one. Now, the head sculpt is a very Diaclone accurate head sculpt. It's not cartoon accurate. This is the more accurate version of Perceptor's head. This was really how the toy looked like, so you can't fault Hasbro for reissuing the same head sculpt. But it does look great with the faceplate. Being a G1 figure, this will have die-cast pieces. And for this G1 figure, the front half of the torso, you can see right here, this one's die-cast, as well as this one, die-cast metal. This one's plastic, everything else is plastic, including the feet. So transformation, you want to bring down the head using this gear. I thought this was pretty cool, nifty gimmick. It'll hurt your fingers a little bit, of very pointy gear notches right there. But it'll bring down the head, and to bring it up, do the same thing. Okay, and then this one's just gonna stay right here and open up these panels. You wanna push the fists inward. Go ahead and rotate the arms this way. This middle piece right here is going to swing out, rotate. It's going to fold up like this. The legs are going to do the splits, and then bend the knees like this, rotate all the way to the other side, and then fold the feet, and then rotate by the knees, and then just collapse the arms towards the center of the body. Fold down the scope, and there you go. That is essentially the microscope alt mode. And what was interesting, like I mentioned earlier in the video, this was actually a working microscope. You could actually try and look at a bug using this, but I couldn't do it. My eyes just hurt every time I try to do it because I wear glasses and all that. So yeah, it's a working scope. So I thought that was pretty cool. Back in the 80s, this was really something. I mean, to have something like a transforming microscope. So he does have wheels, and you know, this was sort of his vehicle mode. He does have a tank mode, which the instructions don't say, and it's unofficial. We'll do the tank mode later. But for now, let's just compare him with the Studio Series 86 Perceptor. Yep. Very cool. And if you wanted a sort of size scale comparison, here he is with the, again, reissued Walmart exclusive G1 Starscream. So he's one of those big G1 figures. And now to transform him into his unofficial tank mode, you see there's a wheel right here that's not being used in microscope mode. So that's really going to be the wheel for the tank, and that's going to be your guide. So rotate everything back like this, and you can see the tank treads are now facing the correct side. Here's the cool bit. You pull on these wheels behind his feet, and they extend to form the Thunder Tank wheels of his tank mode. And yeah, you just point the scope like that as a gun barrel or a tank barrel, and there you go. That is the unofficial tank mode. It actually looks pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Let's bring in Studio Series 86 Perceptor, and this is his tank mode. And between the two, I actually do prefer this one. It's a lot more solid. This one's a lot more hollow, but yeah, both really look good. I mean, they should have put this in the instructions because it's a really cool looking tank mode. And so some final thoughts on this reissued G1 Perceptor. In today's standards, arguably this might seem like a corny figure. It might not seem much to the novice or casual collector. But for those who've been in the game for a long time, and you've been with Transformers collecting these things since the onset in the 1980s, this figure means so much more. I'm one of those collectors who really wanted this toy when I was growing up as a kid and never had it. So to have him right now, despite not having a lot of the chrome parts and all that, it really means a lot. It brings so much memories, nostalgia. Oh man, back in the day, you know, we didn't have Google. There was no Amazon. There was no Toys R Us. I think Toys R Us was just starting, so it was a little difficult to get toys, especially here in Asia. Toys like the ones that Hasbro made, and they were pretty expensive. You know, I think this is one of those better G1 figures that if you're not really the completist, you just want a few figures here and there, I highly recommend this figure. You know, you could start your G1 collection with this figure, maybe get an Optimus Prime, maybe a Hot Rod, see how it goes. But this is a nice figure to begin any G1 collection with. This figure, well, based on the nostalgia and everything that it comes with, I'm gonna have to give this a 10 out of 10. I really enjoy this. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this reissued G1 Perceptor. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.